You got to be highly aware that nowadays with the internet, they've got everything. They're recording everything, all right? The internet doesn't forget or remember. I don't think it remembers. I think it forgets. So the internet doesn't forget. It can't remember. Because, yet, it's not sentient yet. But I got my deep fake glasses, and I checked if this image was a deep fake. It's not. Show you what I'm talking about. Look at that right there. They caught old robot AI Zuck on a hot mic confessing that he was lying. I didn't know what numbers you wanted me to say. And I'm going to play that audio for you in a little bit. Hello, I'm Rob. I'm your vibe coach. Vibe guru. Sorry, why do I screw that up? I'm your vibe guru. Here on the Rob Hood Vision Quest. It's a live stream. It's a stream pod. It's a live pod, live cast. It's a live cast. It's a pod stream. It's daily. And by daily, I mean week daily. Why don't they say that? Why do they say weekdays? You should say week daily. That's what it is. So I'm here breaking down the news, going over the hot goss of the week. And sometimes I bring my deep fake detector glasses. Found these in a airport bathroom, and it turns out they had superpowers, so I kept them. And I can determine whatever is a deep fake, including comments, so try me. We're going to go over today's segment. If you're new here, we go over the meme news. I like news in meme form. It's easier to digest that way. Not a lot of reading. People talk about clickbait titles. People will say, oh, that title's clickbait. Yeah, but did it give you all the information? If it didn't, then yeah, it's clickbait. But if they did the 80-20, where you give them 80% of the information up front, and then you make them come back for the 20 more, you know what? That's the thing of the past. We're in the day and age of the World Wide Web. And I've transitioned fully out of clickbait titles, out of reading. No. Well, not reading articles. And I've figured out, I've broken down the greatest way to get news. To disseminate the news, and that is in meme fashion. So we do a little meme news, and then we're going to get to the hottest segment on the internet. Everybody's talking about it. YouTube Creator Club, Mr. Beast, Viral Bob. Is that a guy? Ah, shit. Is that a guy? I think that's a guy. Viral Bob's talking about it. Tim Sauna, that's the leftist cousin of Tim in Ground Pool. Or is he above ground pool? I think he's Tim above ground pool because he's in like Arkansas, I want to say. He's somewhere deep in the woods. He's got to have his skate park deep in the woods. But everybody's talking about how this is their favorite segment on the internet. Have you even said thank you? Great article in today's segment of Have You Even Said Thank You? We're going to go over a bunch of stuff, so welcome. Get comfortable, but first, before you get all comfortable, I know you're in your PJs, it's Friday night, you got to hit subscribe. You got it. Mr. B said so. He said, if you don't subscribe, you will get a cookie on your computer and he will track you. Or maybe that was a personal threat he did to me. Everything gets confusing, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of synapses and neurons firing back and forth up there. So I want you to, before you get comfortable, before you grab a sip of that tea, that Friday night iced tea. Ooh, that sounds like a Zac Brown band song. Good iced tea on a Friday night. Yep, that's definitely a Zac Brown band song. Is that his name, Zac Brown Band? The Zac Brown Band. Thank God I'm not dyslexic. Anyways, before you get comfortable, you got to hit subscribe. And then it turns into a notification bell. I don't like how they did this. I like when they were separate entities. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to get into some meme news. We're going to get into the internet's favorite segment. Have you ever said thank you? And let me check in with everyone. CJ, how you do? KT Liz, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you in Australia. I think it's morning there. We haven't forgot about you. I am here with the old trusty, reliable deep fake glasses when we go into the news about Mark Zuckerberg making stuff up on the spot. He said, "Oh, geez, I was nervous. I wasn't sure what number we were gonna lie about." I got that news for you. I wanted to show you this. I like to go through Reddit. Well, first, let me say, hey, Nathan Jennings, good to see you. Nan She 3X, hello. Everybody's strolling in. Come on in. Don't worry. Nobody's late. This isn't church. I don't shut and lock the doors like those Catholic priests do, and then they read to you in Latin, okay? You can show up anytime you want, but don't be late. Don't be late. Come as you are, though. Here, let me show you this. Have you seen this? This is called pumpkin cream Alani hyperdrive drink, or Zoot Suit Riot gas fuel, whatever the skibbity Risma kids are saying nowadays. And it's delicious. It's like a root beer, but with pumpkin. And I'm scared at how much I like it. It is more than yummers, I'll tell you that. But that's a good way to describe it. Yummers. So we got a couple thousand. What is that? 1 million people in here? I think we got 1 million people. I'm not good at numbers, but 1 million people in here. Where are you calling in from? Where are you calling in from? Anaka. Hello. Good to see you. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Where's your first time call from? First time chat, long time. Rob, good to see you, and it's good to see you. The corruption is so bad that they talk about it on microphones. CJ. The corruption is so rampant, they're catching it on microphones now, okay? It's happening so often and so much that they're like, Jesus, where do we release it all? Release the files. Free Luigi. Innocent till proven guilty. But yeah, we're going to get to the Mark Zuckerberg hammerhead. I agree, LeBron is straight up trash. I mean, he's a good player, but, he redacted it. He redacted the statement. He redacted that quicker than the FBI redacted Trump's name in the Epstein files. Holy smokes, hammerhead. Whew, and I caught it. The internet never forgets or remembers. The internet can't remember, but it will never forget. That should be like one of those conundrum puzzles. I have a riddle for you. What cannot remember, but it never forgets? The internet. I don't understand anything, but it's very interesting. Thank you. Don't worry, you're like most of the American South right now. I don't understand anything, but it's very interesting. What the hell is up with Luigi? Last couple updates, you can go to like luigisomething.org. I usually link it down below. I don't think I did this time. And hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. The government is giving him a computer to do his work on. And they tried, we talked about this last week, the prosecutors are trying to add to his not add to his charges, but try to say he was the influence for the NFL New York incident. But I pointed this out, that the guy who was murking people in New York the other month didn't go to the NFL. Those were headlines and a narrative from the police and the media. He took out a Blackstone CEO, and I showed the article. So I said, it makes no sense that he's going to the NFL and he was influenced by Luigi, but it does make sense if that guy murked the CEO, which he did. And then they try to tie it. So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, as some of the people do say. CJ, Luigi is so good looking that Shine used his likeness to sell shirts. I don't know who that is, but he's a handsome man. He is a hero to us all. I'm from Russia, and I send my best regards to everyone. And regards to you, and best regards to you. Brandon McCrae, Blackstone or BlackRock? Question mark. Blackstone, which is a subsidiary of BlackRock. I mean, Jesus Christ, these people lack any kind of imagination, even in their diabolical schemes. They're just like, let's just buy all the homes and everyone rent it back, But it was a Blackstone CEO. You can look it up. The woman's name was like Wesley something. And she was the one that got murked. The company Shine. Oh. God damn, it's gone. My pumpkin cream drink is gone. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. Whatever. I'm very sad about that. Very sad. 9K. We're at 9,000 million listeners right now. We broadcast all across the world. Doesn't matter if you're in Russia, Florida, Australia, New Zealand, North Pole, South Pole. That we broadcast to everybody. Okay, that's why they call it the World Wide Web. Maybe they should call it the World Wide Web exception North Korea. Yeah, maybe we should rename it. Boycott corporate products. I support that, but here in America, unfortunately, you're almost forced to participate in corporatocracy where we're at. Oh, by the way, this today's segment, Have You Even Said Thank You, is going to deal with how Donald Trump has chosen to side and support the CEOs and the corporations over airline passengers. I remember, I think I talked about this news whenever it was, years ago, whether it was the regular Ears podcast or if it was this live stream, about how Biden and his, was it the FTC or someone, was implementing laws where if these planes F you over and leave you stranded somewhere or interrupt your, travels, that they were going to have to compensate you for it, which only seems fair. These are billion-dollar corporations. And Donald Trump has reversed that, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. That's right, CJ. 9,000 on our way to 1 million. We are close, folks. We are close to cracking 1 million subscribers, but I can't do it without you. Be the 1 millionth. Hit subscribe. Sock check. Oh, do you got a sock, Precious Roy? A sock puppet? That's adorable. Did you make that yourself? I gave everybody a life hack the other day where I said, if you get too hot, if you're overheating, which I am now, actually, I'm going to take my own advice. You kick off the old socks. As John Candy once said, my dogs are barking. You kick off the socks. You take those off and you cool down a quick 8 to 25 degrees, depending on who you are and your weight. Mayor Pete had a lot to do with the rules airlines have to follow for consumers. Yeah, and they're undoing it all. No one's taking advice from you. Joe, I'm assuming you were talking about yourself in that, and you're right. That one, Joe, I'm assuming that's Joe Rogan's alt account. Joe, Mr. Rogan, you're Joe Graham. You got a lot to learn. First of all, stop stealing jokes from Brendan Schwab. And second of all, stop doing jokes that are 6 years old. 6 years old. And third of all, the Joe Graham, stop being state-run media. I saw in his comments, somebody said, I was watching an Arm Brown video. He was reading the comments. He didn't read this one, but someone in the comments of the Joe Graham said, I wish Joe Rogan would interview 2014 Joe Rogan. And I said, that's brilliant. All right. Oh, let's get into some meme news. Meme news. I saw this on Reddit. This isn't really news, but I felt this was so important to share with you. 1898 to 1910, Dewey. He was only, wait a minute, he lived 12 years? That's a good run for a cat. He was only a cat, quote, but he was human enough to be a great comfort in hours of loneliness and pain. I don't know who made that gravestone, but that is absolutely inspiring. And for some of you, all you capitalist, libertarian people who want to support, the status quo, I made a gravestone for you guys. This is yours. Enter your own name here. Enter the dates or whatever. And here's what it's going to say. Worked really hard. Employee of the month once. And I'll come up with better stuff. I did that right before the show, but I'll come up with better quotes. And if you wanted to, you can join our Discord link down below, and you can add some quotes to the gravestones. We'll make them for all the people. You'll see them. They'll come in here and they'll start bootlicking once we start talking about CEOs. Don't feed the Yaguai. What's up, man? Good to see you. And again, I'm Rob. I'm your vibe guru, officially dubbed by YouTube. They just don't know it yet. I'm the vibe guru. I do the live pod, the pod stream. The live cast, whatever it's called. I'm here 5 days a week, at least. Sometimes on the weekends, okay? And this is the Rob Hood Vision Quest. I would just like you to imagine me with a third eye. Actually, 7 eyes. Imagine my face with 7 eyes. This is 7 times better than the Joe Gram. And don't worry, folks, we're going to get into Have You Even Said Thank You? We're going to get into that segment yet. Everybody's favorite segment. But first, I want to remind you, when are they going to make this an NFT? Does anybody know? I really think we need to make this one of those non-fungible tokens. Or let's just make it a fungible token. Maybe we could put this on like a couch pillow and MAGA could buy it when they're sitting with their, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Look at what did I circle? What did I circle? We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Hold on. Let's get to the meme news. The meme news.
Its heads are falling off!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Liv Moss. We're going to get to the meme news, okay? You Liv Moss. All right, here's one important meme news. I wanted to show you guys this. I don't know if you've seen this, but Sesame Street's been looking for a new home ever since, Donald Trump and his regime dubbed it woke and got really scared that they would teach kids empathy. So it's been bouncing around, looking for a home. I think it went to HBO at one point. And then we slapped it out of HBO's hands.
A few moments later.
And they still couldn't find a home. So now it says beginning in January 2026, YouTube will have the largest digital library of Sesame Street content with hundreds of full episodes coming to the Sesame Street channels. Join us as we help children everywhere grow smarter, stronger, and kinder one episode at a time. Amazing. I encourage you. So I'm an old head. You might know Sesame Street is like a little bright and colorful and how do you say like je ne sais non-psychedelic? But you might know it as a more non-psychedelic show. But when I was growing up, they had these like Jim Henson shorts where Jim Henson was trying to experiment in his creativity. He was really pushing the envelope. Brilliant man. And there were these segments like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should have brought it up. I'm not living Moss right now. I'm sorry. And they had all these trippy, psychedelic, little intermission, little side skits that would play in between the main bits on Sesame Street. So when they release that, you better believe it. I'll bring them up. We'll listen to them together. It's going to be amazing, but you have to hit subscribe and the notification bell. I bet you're a Disney supporter too. JG Wentworth. What is JG Wentworth? The lawyers. Disney supporter too, huh? Well, it depends. I don't support the corporation side, but the creative side, yeah. But just so you know, Disney, I know you think they're like woke and left, but if you look up their opensecrets.org, they donate to the Republicans and the Democrats evenly. But again, when you're fed mainstream propaganda or Joe Rogan, the Rogram propaganda all the time, you're stupid. So I don't know. You should apologize, JG, for your dumbness. Your dumbness is offending people. Not me, but other people. Yeah, Trump is mad at everything. Classy McGee. Keep it classy. I like the Stay Curious music video. I don't know that one, Yagwai, but Sesame Street had this amazing. You know what I went for last year at Halloween? The Sesame Street aliens. The yip. That was another trippy thing. Jim Henson did the mana. But he absolutely created these really trippy. I wasn't even planning on talking about it because we got a bunch of other news to get to. I just wanted to show you this. But trust me, in January 2026, when we're in the billion-dollar, trillion-dollar studio, and I can bring it up on the screen and we can watch it together and stuff, the only way that happens is with your help. I'm supported by viewers like you, but not JG Wentworth, not you. The cool folks. Ernie and Bert, I love. Kermit, one of my favorite all-time greatest characters in all of media, Kermit. Jean, In my opinion, Trump is mentally unstable. He writes and says weird, insane, stupid things. I'm concerned about the future. Yeah, I'm concerned about the past too. But I agree with you. We're going to listen to some of his mental ramblings. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I I officially, unofficially diagnosed Donald Trump with ADH dementia. It's a special form of dementia where you have ADD and then you get dementia, and people ask you a question, you just start rambling about everything. And we're going to listen to some of that audio in a little bit once we get to the news. My name is French, so yes, Jean. See? I love my French folks. Are you calling in from France, as they used to say in radio, Because we have another friend who watches the show in Parlez-vous français too? Oh, oui, oui. So I think that's amazing. I told you, this show, this live cast, the Robgram, the Vision Quest, the Rob Hood Vision Quest that you are now tuned into is broadcasting all corners of the universe. This signal goes out. And we tell everybody, live Moss. You gotta live Moss, okay? Amazing. Just amazing. What else do I have? Oh, that's a notification. We got to get to the next of the meme news. Actually, you know what we'll do? This is what you guys got to have a little empathy for the Trump supporters right now. This is where they're at, okay? This is where they're at. Again, got this from Reddit. Reddit has some good information. It breaks down information in quite the Sunday morning funnies from the newspaper way. Oh, hold on. I got a cat on my shoulder. What is it? What do you want? What do you want? No, don't jump on my computer. What do you want? So remember, this is where they're at. In our show here, we encourage you. Just admit you got conned. You know, say, you can say, look, I was a one-issue voter. I really wanted him to get all the others out of the country and destroy the economy, and he lied, or whatever. And you can just admit, it's not on you, and try to teach people. My wife taught me, if you believe someone and they lied to you, that's not a reflection of your character. That's on them. They're the liar. You did what good humans are supposed to do. You believe somebody when they told you something. But once their words don't align with their actions, that's when you have to take back control. And you have to say, I was conned. Because if you don't say that, that's what you're supporting, okay? So it's very important that we have empathy for the people who are going to say, I got conned. Shaka Khan. Oh, I thought this was interesting too. Baking a cake for a gay couple is endorsing that. Then voting PDF and R is endorsing that. So I wanted to point that out, because all these Christians and Republicans, like to honk the horn when it suits. Well, they like to. Wait. They like to. They like to that. They like to. They like to. They like to. They like to. When it suits them, but not when it doesn't suit them. So I wanted to bring that up, okay? Also, this was a good infographic, just so you know. When you're out and about and you hear a really loud maggot, those are the people that are still supporting this path, not that path. They're not going to admit they were conned, and now they're just going along for the fascist ride. Just remember, they're a small minority, folks. They're not, and it's shrinking. Not only is the support, how do I make it shrink? But not only is the support, but they're shrinking. This is not, remember, a shoot ton of people did not live Moss. A lot of people did not live Moss this last election. And then some of us were like, hey, we got to, not elect a fascist because he's a liar PDF file friend. He's in that black book, as they say. And he's going to capitalize off the White House. He's going to turn it into a capitalism. He's going to do the meme coins and stuff. So just remember, they're a shrinking minority. It's just they're very loud. So if you've ever been around like a child where they're having a tantrum, you might think, Jesus, how many kids are in this store? You know, how many children are on this airplane? It's filled with them, but it's really just one having a little tantrum, stamping his feet. You know, but they seem bigger because they're making a lot of noise. They're like, what's that bird? The bird that flips out its flat feathers and does a crazy dance in South America to attract its mates. They're like that thing. Let's go through some more meme news. Oh, look at this. Look at the date on this. Hold on, I gotta see. Hold on. I gotta see the date. I can't. 10/27/24 from the New York Times. And I do not like the New York Times, but use these people like they try to use us as useful idiots. So when they're pushing this stuff, Donald Trump, this is last October, Donald Trump says he will persecute his enemies, order mass deportations, use soldiers against citizens, abandon allies, play politics with disasters. Believe him. And I'm pretty sure all those things have come true. So interesting that the New York Times was calling this and still people were like, I'm a one-issue voter. We got a lot of educating to do here in America. Merca. Did you see this? This is an old report, but I want to show you. Again, all the stories I plan to talk about, linked down below. Trump once hosted a party for young something, I can't read that, with Epstein as the only guest report. So, and this goes into the whole report about how Donald Trump threw like a Miss Something pageant. New York Times piece, documented interactions. No. It's down here. Striking details recount a party at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, organized by Florida businessman George Hootenanny. George Hootenanny. You know him because he invented the term Hootenanny. It's going to be a Hootenanny. So that's where he got his fame and money from. Described as a calendar girl competition featuring young women. You can just say girls. Hootenanny, quoted in a 2019 interview with the Times, expressed surprise at the guest list, recalling, I said, Donald, this is supposed to be a party with VIPs. You're telling me it's just you and Epstein? Yep. Just Donald Trump and Epstein as the VIPs. And the rest were, what do they call them? Young women? Interesting. So, yeah, guys, you're at a crossroads. For most of America, this like isn't a hard crossroads. For most. For those with a you know, a mantramous ego, this might be a tough crossroads for you. But just wanted to bring that to your attention. Link down below if you'd like to read the full article on your lonesome, if you're very lonely. Should we get into, what are we going to get into? There's a lot of news. Actually, we're going to do the news audio, the audio news. I'm going to play this for you, and don't forget, I do have my deep fake glasses, guys, so I can identify anything that's a deep fake. I will let you know. I found these on the bathroom floor of a Burger King bathroom. My name is Umpty, pronounced with the G. Hit subscribe and notification bell. I will let you know if this is a deep fake. So let me take a look. No, that is the Zuck. That is officially, that is the Zuck. And if you can see here, this is the audio we're about to listen to. It says, Trump asked Mark Zuckerberg how much money he planned to invest in the coming years in the U.S. Zuckerberg hesitated, then said, He said,
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Yeah? Oh, yeah.
and then he said, at least 600 billion through 2028. Moments later, hot mic Zuckerberg leaning over to Trump and saying, I wasn't sure what number you wanted me to go with. So listen closely. Let's see if you can hear what Zuck says.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh gosh.
Did you hear? Oh gosh. Oh. Oh gosh. I can't wait. Listen, hit subscribe and the notification bell so I can set this up like I used to have my radio studio. So we could just immediately isolate that clip and have a, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Let's hear that again. Because this is, remember, they were planning, he was planning to do what he said. So Trump was going to tell him a number that he was going to invest because it's all made up. So when they didn't get to discuss it, and that's what the hot mic audio is. So he asks him, and he's not ready because Trump didn't tell him what to say. You know, when you're lying and you're not telling the truth, you have to coordinate. You have to like make notes. Like, what did I lie about? Okay, I said this. So let's listen to that. Oh gosh, if this was one of those body language breakdown, you know, those channels where they like get the interview police footage and they do the breakdowns of the interview. They're like, this is when the police are executing the XYZ tactic to interview. This would be great for one of those channels. I don't do it though. Oh, hold on, pause. Oh gosh, guys. What are you doing, Mama? Mama. Sorry. I got a baby kitten alert. Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh my God. You know what I just said?
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh gosh.
Next few years.
Oh gosh.
Few years.
Oh gosh.
Few years.
Oh gosh.
I just said, oh gosh, because Mama Cat is taking her kittens out. If we get to, hold on, how many? We're only at 37 likes. If we get to 441 likes and subscribes, I'll show you one of the kittens. Do you guys like kittens? Or are you Satanists? Because only Satanists wouldn't like kittens. I'm just an open-minded hippie who likes to see facts. I didn't vote for Trump or Harris. I thought both were too divided. One was incompetent, the other too controversial. The unknown swan. I have a lot of compassion for you and that take. Because I didn't want to vote, but for my daughters I did. And I voted for Bernie Sanders. Okay, she put the kitten back. But I get it, because do you want to vote for the top cop, Kamala? No, but she wasn't going to do corruption. She wasn't going to do the corruption like we see right now. And right now we have the worst job market since the last time Trump was here. So there are some things where you just go, you have to vote. You have to use these politicians like they try to use us. Oh shit, that was a long comment to go. I love puppies and cats and some insects. Interesting. Oh yes, I love kittens. However, Florida can keep those flying roaches. I agree. So let's see, we're at 46. I don't know, we're gonna have to crack 100 of the thumbs. Crack 100 thumbs and I'll get a kitten for you, maybe. Ooh, Sanders is a sad. I didn't really vote for Sanders. Oh gosh. Okay, so let's get back to this audio. Sorry, I had a kitty emergency, a cat emergency. So we're listening to, oh gosh, him right here. And he doesn't know. He was hit off guard. He thought Donald Trump was going to tell him what number to say. But because he didn't tell him what number to say, you hear the, oh gosh, and he has to go on the fly.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28.
Oh my God. That, like, you know, when you're in school and the teacher's like, everybody do the reading, and everyone's like, yeah. And then the teacher's like, oh, can you summarize it? And you're like, oh gosh. I think it was like about, I want to say a main character. And they had some kind of conflict. And the teacher's like, yeah, sounds good. Teacher didn't do the reading either, turns out. You didn't know that when you were in school, but the teacher didn't do the reading either. That's what Zuckerberg just sounded right there. You know, Trump called on the one kid that didn't get told the fucking answer. What? What do you need, Mama? What? Come here. No, the kitties have to stay. No, Come here. What is it? What do you need? Yeah? What is it? What do you need, Mama? What do you need, Mama? What do you need? Huh? You okay? You okay? No, you're not taking them. You're not taking them out of here. I already told you. It's not happening. No. Thank you, other cat. Jesus. Sorry about that. So
In the U.S., yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
Donald goes, "Is that a lot? Like the money is so abstract to them. 600 billion? I don't know. Is that a lot? I just made like 400 billion off the presidency. I just got elected and I cashed out on this bitch."
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Now it cuts in the video and it catches them when they're not supposed to be on camera. They think their mics are off. Never trust. Take the mic off and you throw it and flush it in the toilet. You know it's good. But Zuck gets caught on a hot mic. Listen to what he says. So it's so hard to hear him, but they have subtitles. He says, "Sorry." Hold on, I'll read it to you. "Sorry, I wasn't ready to do our inaudible." And then listen, you can hear Trump because he starts to laugh. He goes, "Ha ha, he didn't know what he was going to say." See, he goes, "I wasn't." Then Zuckerberg goes, "I wasn't sure what number you wanted me to say." Listen to it again. I know it's hard to pick up. I'll turn it up. Oh gosh. I'll turn it up, okay? I wasn't sure what like. Listen, everybody that's not a MAGA, free time. You guys get free time. We're gonna get to LSD, potential help for anxiety, but you bring up that thing, it gives me anxiety. Just the mention of it, that is a scary, scary thing. But this is hilarious, MAGA. Everybody else, free time, you get a free moment, independent reading if you want. MAGA, I gotta talk to you. This is open and corrupt, lying, grifting to your face. You know, like the cameras are on. They knew the cameras were on. They didn't know their mics were still on. And they're doing this right in front of the cameras. And Donald even laughed and said, he didn't even know what number to go with. Like they're openly lying to you about American investment. Right there, from their own words. Like, this isn't me. If you want to get mad, that's fine. If you want to get upset, that's fine. But direct your anger in the right place, my friend. Okay? Remember, I did the deep fake chat. That's Mark. This whole Mark Zuckerberg. You know? Go delete your Facebook right now. Microdosing. That girl's name is the way. I don't know. I would say the psilocybin. The psilocybin. We got to talk about that. Did I take a picture of that one? Did I? Oh, no, I took a picture of that one. Oh, yeah, look, this is the other thing. LSD shows early promise as a potential anxiety treatment. The study enrolled 198 adults with anxiety. How many came out with worse anxiety? Magic mushrooms grow in popularity nationwide, with states like Colorado, Oregon legalizing therapeutics like psilocybin use. We almost did in Massachusetts. We voted, pushed really hard. We didn't get it. And now, oh wait, I didn't, hold on. I have the story over here. That wasn't the, hold on. Give me a second, would you? Give me a second.
Good guess,
Thank
but
you.
wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm studying the effect of negative reinforcement on ESP ability.
I didn't take a picture of that. I did take a picture of the psilocybin and how this is from the NIH, National Institute of Health, and how it's helping people with PTSD. All these things that you grew up propagandized to believe were illegal and dangerous. Cannabis, a great medicine. Psilocybin, a magical medicine. And once you start to learn and study about the history of the war on drugs with Nixon and his war against the counterculture, knowing that the counterculture utilized drugs and how most of these drugs were legal prior to that, and how, you know, Nixon figured, well, if we can criminalize the thing they use, then we can criminalize our opponents. Sound familiar? It sounds like Donald Trump, except Nixon did it all on the sly. And people have now, who've worked for the Nixon administration, admit it. Like, this was just a lie. This was to criminalize black people, hippies, anybody who was against Nixon at the time in the Vietnam War. And, this has all been so, the fact that they have cannabis scheduled as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning no medical effect, no medical use, and highest addiction is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the government even has a patent on cannabis. You can look it up for its therapeutic properties. So, again, don't trust the government, like Charlie Kirk says. Do not. And I wanted to link this and link down below, but I also have this story linked down below. LSD shows early promise as potential anxiety treatment. The medical journal, JAMA, JAMA, suggests that a single dose of MM120, an oral pharmaceutical formulation of LSD, can significantly reduce symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, offering a potential alternative to daily medications. Now, the big problem is when you have big pharma who's, just cashing in on all different kinds of, do you not poop? Do you poop too much? Do you have anxiety when you poop? Like all these different medications that they can pitch you so you can, not get through your AI health insurer, and so they can charge you out of pocket and make billions and billions because we need to fix the healthcare thing in America. They're going to fight against this, They fought against cannabis. They're going to fight against this. They're probably going to fight against magic mushrooms. But once they figure out how to capitalize on it, then they'll gatekeep it for you. So there's a lot of issues that we got to, work out the kinks in this structural system that is absolutely flawed, but working to its own design. There's some interesting data in this link, the link I have down there for you. So if you're interested in this, I highly encourage you to find out, because it would just be so much better. Now, LSD isn't one of those natural substances, but psilocybin, cannabis, it's much better to use something that Jesus Christ planted himself on this earth for us than one of these pharmaceutical things. So yeah, I did want to talk about LSD as potentially the craziest part, though, and I'm not a deep fake. I checked myself. Is LSD. That's an anxiety giver. I'll tell you what. That will give you anxiety. I do not advocate for that one. Psilocybin, absolutely. This one, I got to see a little more testing. Val Grisky, I'm on Ket right now. What are you, Elon Musk? Oh, Alma's here. Good to see you, Alma. Charlie Kirk is a Nazi name. Yeah, and he's the one that's like, I trust my friends in the government. I wish I had that clip right now. I trust my friends in the government. He's not living Moss, I'll tell you that. He is absolutely not.
Bruh.
Now, let's Jesus, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm doing this show to entertain you, okay, folks? This man right here is hilarious, loves to bitch and complain, has tons of negative things to say about everything, and never has any solutions to give. Maxwell, I have a ton of solutions. What are you, a dummy? Oh, man, don't be a dummy. I can't have dummies being dummies around here. You can't be a dummy, okay? I have a whole chart of solutions. We overturn Citizens United. We codify women's right to choose. Term limits on SCOTUS. Nobody, I have to add to this and I tweak this, but I hope you're paying. Oh, Crash is here. Crash is here. CJ and Alma, do not ban Crash. He's just sarcastic. But Maxwell, we can't have dummies, okay? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to weed out the dummies. And I can see by the letters you type in the certain order you type, you're one of them. So here are all the things, but I add to this. I say no more presidents over the age of 55, and the retirement age should be 55. So no more old presidents, 55 cutoff. Just like they say 35, you gotta be 35 to be president, 55 and you're too old. No more 80-year-old presidents. I'm sorry, okay? And we're gonna get to that in a minute, how he's been hiding his hand from the zombie bite. We get rid of the Electoral College. We outlaw gerrymandering, ranked choice voting in all elections. The Fairness Doctrine, universal health care. Guess what? I even have a solution to how we pay for it. The government runs this little thing called the VA, okay? And they do veterans health care. The government does, and it's paid for through taxes. So we actually take ideas from other countries, like what works with universal health care, and healthcare paid for by your taxes, and what doesn't? What stumbling blocks have you stumbled upon, as they say? And we take from all the other, just like when we founded the country, and we said, what is France doing? What are these countries doing? Let's take a little here, a little there, and let's smorgasbord it all into a Borg of America. So we do that with healthcare. And instead of some people, the internet may say, oh, well, we could just pay for it with our taxes instead of using it for bombs in other countries' healthcare. And I say, better yet, we tax billionaires into extinction. Here in Massachusetts, we did a millionaire's tax, and they said, the millionaires will leave. And I said, good, let them go. Turns out they didn't. And a new report shows our millionaire population grew that by 35% after taxing them more. Kids got free lunch in Massachusetts at school, no more school debt. And if you want to get a bachelor's degree, you can do it for free in Massachusetts. So it actually works for society if you tax, that was just millionaires. I say we tax billionaires into extinction. So America has no more billionaires, no more hearing about Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire. And instead, they can be fine being 999,999,999 heirs. You know, and they can just be okay with that much money, because at that point you won capitalism. There's nothing else you could buy. And we see what comes from having too much money, Epstein Island and the list, right? Like, it's all nefarious after that. So since they can't do any good with it, we put it back into the system and we use it for people's healthcare. So we pay for our healthcare with the billionaire's tax. So there's a solution, Maxwell. And then you could read the rest of these. We ban stock trading while in Congress. We cap Congress salary, 1.5 the median income of their district. We cap CEO pay. I mean, they say 35 to the lowest paid employee, but I would say 30, 22 if they're nice. Tax billionaires out of existence. Tax unrealized gains used as loan collateral. Tax mega charities and increase the federal minimum wage to 66. That is a typo. Whoever typed this is acting like it's 2008. So there you go, Maxwell. I'm glad you asked that question, because now you don't have to be dumb. And because I gave you solutions and answers, you can support these. There's no more wandering around in that desert of, I don't know how to do it. Good, you negative, no solution. You found the oasis, buddy. You found it. I got the oasis of answers. This is what they call me. No, I'm just kidding. They call me your official YouTube vibe guru. I'm your vibe coach, Maxwell. I teach you to stop being so negative in the comments and start enforcing these answers I've given you. So yeah, that's the vision quest, folks. Life is just one big vision quest. And if you think other, I challenge you. Let's get to Have You, everybody's favorite internet segment. Have you even said thank you? This is a good one today, folks. We got a good one today. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's not this one. Trump has successfully tanked the labor market. We're going to get to that. Here is it. Oh, no. It's not this one either. Shit. It's not that one. Oh, yeah. Look. Elon Musk might get $1 trillion, folks. Might get $1 trillion. You know, but no solutions. Where is it? Oh, shit. Did I not take a picture of it? I swore I had a picture of it. I took all the pictures of all these things, didn't I? And I didn't take a picture of the one thing that we needed to thing. Well, I'm just going to have to read it to you. And then we'll go over this, okay? So, have you even said thank you? Let me get to it. Trump admin ditches Biden era plan to make airlines pay compensation for flight disruptions. It might be further back in my notes. It might be further back in the notes. That's what it is. Like, I booted it out because I know. Here it is. Sorry. Sorry. I knew I had it. I knew I had it somewhere.
Hello?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I had it. So the Trump administration said Thursday it's abandoning a Biden-era plan that sought to require airlines to compensate stranded passengers with cash, lodging, and meals for flight cancellations or changes caused by a carrier. The proposed rule would have aligned U.S. policy more closely with European airline customer protections. It was proposed last December in the final weeks of Joe Bummer's administration, leaving its fate in the hands of his Republican successor. In a document posted Thursday, Donald Trump Transportation Department said it plans to scrap the proposed rule. It is consistent with the department and administration. To scrap the proposed rule is consistent with department and administration priorities. That sentence was weird. Trump has sought to significantly roll back or modify federal regulations that his administration deems are wasteful or burdensome. And then industry trade group Airlines for America, which represents carriers including United, Delta, Southwest. Those are the lobbyists. Welcome the move by the Trump administration. Quote, they said, we are encouraged by this Department of Transportation reviewing unnecessary and burdensome regulations that exceed its authority and don't solve important issues to our customers. I would say the most important issue to your customer, if you've ever flown and had your flight disrupted, and you miss a connecting flight, or you sit on the, thing for so long, and then they say we can't fly, and you get back into the airport, and you're like, I don't have money for a hotel. I would say that's the most important thing when traveling. If your flight doesn't go through, if you can't make your travel, the most important thing at that point is having some kind of compensation. But Trump, again, have you even said thank you? He doesn't support you as a worker, and he certainly doesn't support you as an airline passenger. They side with the CEOs. I didn't even look up how much this lobbying group probably donated to Trump, but they, bent the knee, kissed the ring, probably gave some kind of donation, bought 400 meme coins or one of his NFTs, with his head on Rambo's body, where he's like a firefighter or something he's never done. But it doesn't matter, because here they are telling you the government could help make your life better, and if you travel. And let's go back to the rule. It was proposed that if you travel and you are stranded, that the airlines compensate you with cash, lodging, meals for flight cancellations or changes caused by a carrier, which they do right now. And they do with no repercussion. And they do it kind of like, if you weren't going to get punished and you could just do something, wouldn't you be like, who cares, But again, the government is here to put these regulations to exercise that authority, so they don't just treat you like some bimbo and be like, whatever, what are you going to do? You have no authority here, and your government that you elected to represent you isn't going to enforce it. Like Biden, that was one thing he was trying to do, get you cash, lodging, what else? Meals for whatever they cancel or cause change to, which, again, I don't even know why I would ask this, because MAGA will just pretend. They'll be like, nobody wants that. When I fly, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and pay for your own lodging when the airline just decides to cancel on you. They'll do some hardo Joe Graham, act like a Roganite. They'll be like, I have my brain mushrooms and my elk jerky. I just sleep on the floor. But it's like, realistically, this is good for everyone in the country. So why would Trump, who you think helps you, I'm speaking to MAGA right now, everybody else, you free time. If you think he cares about you, why would he not want to make that move and make a law where if these airlines, which are making billions, spending money on stock buybacks, enriching themselves, and when they inconvenience you and disrupt your flight, why would you be against them having to give you cash, lodging, and meals for those interruptions? Why would you be against that? This is why we can't have nice things. This is it, folks. Here it is. This is why we can't have nice things. Because people are like this guy who decides to roll back the Joe Bummer, the Joe Brandon era rule where it says airlines, if they fuck with your travel, then they got to pay up, It only seems right. The customer's always right. Remember that? But some of you are going to be in here being like, no, you just got to work harder. Exactly. Some dumb beats. The poors don't need that. Yeah, exactly. See, there's people go, boo. It's like, you dummy. We could have medical debt not exist, but because you're like, I don't care if anyone gets cancer unless it's me or my family. Like, you're so selfish and so self-absorbed that it's like, we could have nice things. You see it right here. Right here. This is it. Have you even said thank you? Imagine flying and the airline carrier just goes, we're just going to cancel the flight for no reason. For no reason at all. You have to panic and go, well, what do I do? How do I get lodging? I guess I'm sleeping on the floor, not eating. But we could have had it where like they would pay for your lodging, give you cash and meals. We could have had this, folks. Who the fuck is against this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Shannon, I gotta read this. So you want the government to support you then, basically? No, you dummy, Shannon. And our government is more socialist and not capitalist, is failing due he to socialist policies stifling capitalism? No, Shannon, again, this is why I gotta address certain people, like, because, you know, you were poorly educated, and I don't blame you. I blame the people who raised you and helped get you to adulthood, because, you know, in the olden days, you would have been eaten by a dinosaur. So now that you're in adulthood, I gotta help you, Shannon. We want the government. So just so you know what government is, it's we vote for people who go to represent us. It's supposed to be like, oh, we the people, by the people, for the people kind of smorgish thing. I know you don't believe in that. You think, I vote for someone who tells me what they want. But really, your vote was you vouching for people to go and represent you. That's why they're called representatives. I know this is like very complex and hard to understand. And those people are in public service. So the whole idea of government is to help the communities, to protect the communities from abusive and exploitative capitalists. Now, these airlines, if you've ever traveled lately, sometimes they'll just cancel stuff, or they'll just fuck with you, or just leave you hanging, or they'll just do whatever, and there's no recourse for them. This is the government acknowledging a problem, because these billion-dollar companies goes, who's going to stop us? What are you going to do? Cry about it on Instagram? Are you going to go to your reels and complain? Good luck. And this is the government saying, no, if these people paid you for a certain expectation of travel and you cancel that on them or interrupt that service, then you owe them for that. It's amazing I have to really break it down like a Sesame Street episode for some people. But thanks for trying, you know. It's so crazy how people don't understand. Like, the government is not what you guys did. Like electing a guy to go and do whatever he wants. The whole thing is like, we have representatives. They go into public service. This is, fuck. We need to teach more people. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Oh, God damn it. She got me. She was a deep fake. Thank God I have my deep fake glasses. Nobody's that stupid. She was a deep fake. She was a deep fake, folks. She got me. You got me. You got me. Old Shannon's a deep fake. Now, this is why I put the mug with fascist tears on my thing.
Stop being a baby.
I told her to. I told her to stop being a baby. Stop complaining that the government's going to help us, you know? I put the mug of fascist tears on the thumbnail because there are some people that get very mad. They say stuff like, get a job, you hippie. And I tell them, nobody can, because Donald Trump tanked the labor market. These are the people, get ready. For everybody who's not a MAGA and is like, hey, what's going on? You know, why is the economy so bad? Why egg go up? Rolling Stone does a wonderful job breaking it down. And I linked the article down below. They got a paywall, but a little secret. I had a way around it, and guess what? I screenshotted it for you. So we're going to get into this article. So be prepared, because MAGA is about to go off. We're going to be drinking fascist tears this whole article. Trump has successfully tanked the American labor market. Disaster tariffs, mass deportation is wrecking the economy. Now, Trump lashed out, if you remember, and he fired the Commissioner of Labor Statistics. He said, I fired the messenger. And they were like, sir, I just report on stats. I'm a stats person. He was like, I don't care. You gave me the wrong stats. You know, because very tough guys can't handle statistics when they don't make them look good. What does that say? You know? Is that a real ego on him? Or is that a deep fake ego? Oh, that's a real ego. Oof. Yeah. So, at the time, Trump basically claimed that job numbers were rigged in order to make the Republicans and me look bad. You know, because every tough guy usually has to cry foul. Don't you love watching a basketball game and somebody is always like overacting and throwing the ball and going, ref, he fouled me? Isn't that your favorite part of a basketball game? When there's that one player that's like falling and no one's around him, he's like throwing the ball up and act like he got hit and he's alone on a fast break. And then he's always running up to the ref going like, ref, aren't you going to call that? What is this, the UFC? Don't you love that? Isn't that your favorite part of sports? The guy who always is looking for a foul? Well, that's who we have as the president. No matter what, he's always blaming someone else and looking for a foul to be called. So it says August, the economy added 22,000 jobs in August, meaning there are more unemployed people. Oh, it cut off the top. Basically meaning there are more unemployed people than there are jobs. The unemployment rate increased, and it's the highest it's been since 2021. Are we great yet? The Bureau of Labor Statistics revised down the numbers from June to show there was a negative job growth for the first time since the worst of COVID-19. The editor noted. So, negative growth. Isn't it amazing the wordage these corporate folks use? We've got negative growth, folks. What the fuck does that mean? Negative growth.
Okay, just calm down.
All right. Negative growth. Yeah, so we got negative growth happening. The weak market is the culmination of Trump's impulsive approach to economic policy making, shifting tariffs, yada yada, COVID, yada yada. Trump's impulsive approach to the economy. Something shaking, merrymaking? I can't read that. The president has recently imposed new and shifting tariffs for the first, let's jump down here. For the time being, as the monthly job reports underscore a Trump economy that is far from the golden age that his 2024 campaign had vowed to immediately unleash. Day one stuff, folks. Hold on. Rolling Stone. Oh, somebody contacted Rolling Stone and they had pre-written drafts of talking points for their principal. One version would blame the Bureau of Labor Statistics prominently for supposed pumping out bad data. If the jobs report ended up being more positive for Trump, another version would downplay the BLS criticism or nix it entirely. These are your skibbity alpha beta cucks, okay? If you think this guy's a tough guy when he's writing, one version if the numbers are bad to say it's their fault, and another version if the jobs thing is good saying, oh, we're doing amazing. You shouldn't look up to these people. No matter what, you could just take accountability. If it's good, great, we're doing what we should be. If it's bad, what do we got to work on? But that's not how liars operate. Let's see, who is this? Oh, one of my senators, Liz Warren. The disastrous jobs report makes it increasingly clear that President Trump's economic agenda is wrecking the labor market. There are now more unemployed people than job openings. Thanks for telling me to get a job. I hear that every live stream, and guess what? I'm going to keep doing this until it's my job. Suck it. Go do your own live stream.
Oh, that pisses me off. That pisses me right off.
No, it doesn't. It makes me more inspired, so I thank you. Instead of immediately lashing out the government statisticians on Friday, this is one of the funniest sentences. Instead of immediately lashing out at the statisticians, what kind of beta boy are you? If you're like, those statisticians, them and their stats, numbers, they've always been against me. Except when it comes to numbers of monies my dad gave me. Trump took time once again to call his Jeffrey Epstein scandal another Democratic hoax. Oh, yeah. Because he believes in the big line. Found that 36%. Oh, I wanted to put this in there because this is still part of the Rolling Stone thing. 36% of job listings were fake. Companies post fake listings to look like they are growing and farm data. There are more hits coming. Health insurance premiums are expected to spike, and millions of Americans will lose their coverage as a result of Trump's big bill. Healthcare is the only field growing right now. So if you're a healthcare worker, God bless you. Not exactly a positive that America's healthcare system is both hideously expensive for patients and maddeningly complex. Manufacturing, on the other hand, lost 12,000 jobs and has lost 78,000 jobs over the year. I thought they were bringing manufacturing back. Wasn't that what the tariffs were doing? Interesting that the job numbers are not saying that. But the chaotic tariff regime, supposed to boost manufacturing, is not doing that. Professional and business lost 17,000 jobs, while government lost 16,000. I don't know what you were expecting, though. I'm going to be very honest. When they were like, we're going to lay off all the government, it was like, the job numbers are going to look bad. You can't fire people and think jobs are going to go up. But it's okay. It's okay. Did you see this? I wanted to point this out. I don't know if I linked this down below, but a jury orders Google to pay for all you libertarians. All you people that side with Google. You think Google should make the laws. Well, the government basically doesn't rein them in at all, because there are people clearly supporting the government, not regulating companies so companies can do what they want. I don't, again, understand how no regulation helps workers. If anything, it allows their bosses to do whatever they want with no repercussions. But this is one of those instances where you might read this headline: jury orders Google to pay $425 million for unlawfully tracking millions of users. Their analytics tracked usage from partner apps even when account activity settings were turned off. So you might see that and go, oh, that's a good fine. But I looked up. Google made a net profit of $100 billion. That was their profit, not revenue. The revenue was $300 billion. Their profit was $100 billion. They're fined $420, not even $500 million. So I want you to imagine, this is my argument to libertarians that aren't Peter Thiel, okay? If you're not Peter Thiel and you're a libertarian,
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
so if you're not Peter Thiel and you're a libertarian, so I want you to imagine if you just made $100, right? And you did something wrong, you broke the law, and you lied to everybody that earned you that $100. And this is $100. You don't have to pay bills with it. This is $100 for you to just have fun with. Make some stock buybacks of yourself. And the government comes along and says, hey, you lied to everybody and you broke the law and you didn't do what you were saying. You're in trouble. And you went, oh, I'm in trouble. And they said, yeah, you owe 50 cents and get it in pennies because you're going to pay it to everybody. And you went, oh, 50 cents? Yeah, no problem. No problem. Here's the 50 cents. I'll keep doing this all day. That's basically what this was. $425 million for a company that made $100 billion in net profit. That's chump change to them. Do you think the government's regulation of Google will dissuade them from tracking you even when they told you they weren't tracking you? No. A fine of 50 cents. Again, if you're one of these, because these maggots, listen, these MAGA people, they say they're tough on crime, which I go, well, why'd you elect a felon? If you're so tough on crime, why would you elect a felon? More importantly, why would you elect a guy who's letting Ghislaine Maxwell go to a camp? She was supposed to be in prison for 20 years, not a camp for 20 years, for some horrific trafficking crimes. So I don't want to hear that you're tough on crime. But if you still delusionally think that, then let me ask you, why aren't we putting any of these people who, gave the order to still do this? There's people in charge that allowed this to happen. Why don't they go to jail? I think if they went to jail, they might learn their lesson. They might come out and say, well, I'm not doing that again. So it's, oh, Derek, look at the cope. Derek Pay is puffing hard on the copium pipe tonight. When I say he's a felon with 34 felonies, for hiding that for the other Republicans who believe he's God's moral man, for using that campaign finance money to pay Stormy Daniels to be quiet before an election. Those are some of the felonies. So it checks off so many of the Republicans, the family values Republicans, the people who are tough on crime. It's so hilarious that the person that you elected for family values and to be tough on crime is a guy who is paying what was she? A porn star? He was paying a porn star hush money so it wouldn't come out before the election. And he got felonies because of it. And some of these people in this party, they're not serious people, but they think they are. They like to say, we're the party of family values and we're tough on crime. Well, you elected a guy with no family values who's cheated on, I believe, all three of his wives and buried one at a golf course of his, and also best friends with Epstein. Is that family values now? America, you got weird. Your family values are weird. Maybe you guys got Mormon family values. And then got felonies out of it. You guys thought you were the family values tough on crime crowd, and it turns out you just became hilarious not knowing it. It's so funny. They protect the predators. Gal on the spectrum, yes. My salute to you, gal on the spectrum. Much love. Yeah, it's so funny. And you hear them with their cope all day long, you know. You try to call them out and go, guys, you can't lecture anybody on tough on crime when you're electing Epstein's best friend, you know. The greatest, the largest, most hideous cabal of traffickers in the history of Earth, in recorded history, Donald Trump was Epstein's best friend. He's on record many times, like bragging about what good friends they were. This monster right here, Dennis the Menace Cowlick. And his, where is it? 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 Where did it go? Where did it go? Where'd it go? I wanted to show you the other thing. The other thing. What's the other thing? No, the other thing. You know, the other thing. Where did it go? I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Is it way down here? No, it's not way down here. Here's all the hard workers. That's going to be their gravestone. So have you even said thank you for the economy, for the airlines not having to compensate us when they F with us? Here's what we should be fighting for. GOP, guardians of PDF files. That's right. Cheers to you. And whenever we cheers, you guys know, everybody get your glasses up. We always cheers to Jeff Bezos. If you don't know, he just rented the city of Venice, where Leonardo DiCaprio, that climate activist, went to his yacht, his mega yacht. He rented out the city of Venice for his second wedding. So whenever we cheers, we always cheers to Jeff Bezos. We say, here's to his second messy divorce, Jeff. Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious. I drink iced peppermint tea, just so you know. Just so you know. I want America to sort of vote this man out. Get back to a friendship with Canada, because I know Americans are wicked awesome people. Tim Towndrow, I agree with you. I can't believe that's one of the most shocking things, that he's just trying to, but he's treating it like he treats his life. Like everybody either has to be beneficial to me, or I will try to hold everything over your head. The only person he doesn't do that with, and no, actually he does it with Ghislaine, because he knew Ghislaine had information. That's why he was very nice to her and wished her well. And everything's with him is transactional. And, you know, sometimes, like, think about your friendships. You're not friends with people because of what benefits they bring to your life. Hold on one second. You okay, Mama? You okay, Mama? All right, there we go. Trump saw a 10-year-old and said, I'd be dating her in 10 years. Yep. There's information about him with a 14-year-old. Some dumb Pete's. I like Trump because he'd make a China #1 even quicker. Yeah. The quickest way to put the BRICS nations ahead of the G7 is for what he's doing, canceling all our relationships, holding everyone hostage, being jerks to people we've had friendships, countries we'd have friendships with for years. But if you look at what China's doing with their high-speed rail and investing in Africa infrastructure, they're playing the smart game. That's the thing. Americans think like being smart is like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or a Steven Seagal movie, and they don't understand like playing is smart, especially because capitalists here in America, they don't think about long-term values. That's why they made stock buybacks legal again in 1982. Reagan did that because it's artificially inflating the stock for that moment in time. It's not providing any more anything. It's not like the company got better or they're doing something better or their product got better. Stock buybacks are literally just inflating the stock. Why? Because the CEO's compensation, most of the board of the members and the shareholders, which is usually BlackRock, all value the stock so they can make big swings and big movements and big profits with pumped up stock inflation. And that's the thing. It's like, really, if they wanted to think about anything other than today and tomorrow, investing in the people and the economy, and 70% of the economy is consumers, it would be paying people enough, making sure we don't die, we're healthy, we're educated. Well, they don't want us educated. In fact, let's play a little clip of a guy you might know as George Carlin, the legend. I want to play this for you.
They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers.
That is what Trump wants, obedience. That's what you see in every meeting when they have these big roundtable meetings and they're on TV and they're going to announce something, and first they all have to say, Trump, we just want to say you're the greatest president that America has ever seen since the King George III. They love to just be obedient. And that's why you saw Dan Bajina and Cash Money Patel going on podcast after podcast or hosting their own podcast and doing all this. Why wouldn't they release the Epstein files? And then they get into the position where they can. They go, guys, I've seen it. Dan Bajina's eyes like this, like his soul got sucked out of his butthole, going, guys, I've seen it, and I'm just telling you, it is what it is. It doesn't exist. Doesn't. And he's just looking like, his soul got sucked out his butt. That's what he looked like. Why? Because Donald Trump just demands obediency. And that's what, when I see you, MAGA, not the rest of you, I know there's 70% of you here that are cool people. You don't need a vibe coach. I'm just here to have a good time and entertain you. But the other percent, you people, I am talking about you people. That's why you all have the same pecking points. All the time you say the same thing, and it's usually taking offense or trying to tell me to get a job or saying something about me personally, because you can't say anything else because you just have to be obedient. When you have to be obedient, you don't know what you're obedient to, because this guy is so chaotic and has ADH dementia that you don't know if today we like windmills because we're going to invest in green energy, or do they cause all the ducks wind cancer? We don't know. We don't know what he said lately. Is the Epstein files real? Does it not exist? Or is it a hoax? Is it a Democratic hoax? Which one is it? I don't know which one to go with, but I'll just wait for Trump because I have to be obedient. That is their key word, and this is why they voted for him, because they saw what they imagined a strong alpha male to be, somebody who's loud and bossy and mean to marginalized people and really mean to people with disabilities and anybody who's vulnerable and not as rich as him. He's very mean to them, and they thought that was strength. They didn't realize that made him the weakest puss in the room, okay? And no offense to pusses. But this guy is a terrified little egomaniac, and why wouldn't he be? He earned nothing on his own. Fred Trump gave him everything that he had. Old Freddie Trump, who had racist charges in the 70s with his son Donnie Don Dons. So obedience, that's what they're craving, and that's what they're giving. You know, their life is not to have a dream, but a dream job, so they can be obedient. That's why I had to create this, because they come in here and say, get a job. Life is about working. You should work really hard and try to be employee of the month, and then you just die, and that's it. That's it. These fucking people, man. Continue on, George.
Workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club.
And you ain't in it. God bless him. That was 2005, George Carlin. You should watch all of his stuff and listen to everything he has to say. Before my kids graduate, they're forced to do that. And that was the education my mother gave me. And guess what? It still rings true to this day. It might ring true a little bit harder for some of you, especially if you were going for your Social Security or retirement. But George kind of submits. I think he had lost some of his spark and spirit, that je ne sais fucking quoi. And he says, you know, just deal with it. And I say, no, you can hit subscribe, join the community, join the family, and we can take this shit back. You know, I say we have a tri-presidency. Zorhan, don't mess with the Zohan, Graham Plattner, and Bernie Sanders. Bernie will be the old wizard sage. He always dresses in a robe and a wizard cap. Graham will be the loud, boisterous one, and Madambo. Zoran, don't mess with the Zohan. He will be the brains behind the plan. And I think that will be the new future of our country. I see it, folks. I see. This is why you're on the Rob Hood Vision Quest. Do I got to remind you of everything? This is a vision quest, okay? This is not real life. Real life is all made up. Everything, from the days of the week to the money we use, it's all made up. So why can't we make up new stuff? For all you in the comments saying, no, just serious status quo. We got to keep it the same. I just want to be able to go to work, come home, have one vacation a year, and die in medical debt because I had to sell my house because the cancer cost too much, even though they had the lung cancer vaccine in Cuba. But they told me that was socialist, so I had to hate that. For you guys, that's okay. I know expanding your mind and thinking about stuff outside the box is terrifying. It's terrifying. That's why your Republicans warn you about the woke radical left who want to say stuff like free healthcare and never calling Uber and never calling Uber instead of an ambulance. They want to say, if you want to get a higher education, you can do that. And the billionaires will pay for it. Not you. You're not a billionaire. Stop crying. But you guys are terrified. You go, well, I just need to work my job and listen to what my boss says, and then hopefully Donald Trump will say something mean to some people that I don't like, and then everything will be copacetic. But that's not how the rest of us see it. The rest of us want to make up a new fucking day of the week. Okay? We just want to name it something awesome, like Godzilla's Day, where we worship the old fucking lava titan. Okay? Some of us want that. We want a 3-day work week. And if you want to work 7, go ahead. Your family doesn't like you. You got married because you thought that's what you had to do. That's fine. You can go to work all 7 days. For the rest of us, we work 3, the robots work 4, and we have 4 days to paint and sing and create and do shit and walk the dogs and pet the cats and all that stuff. But if you hardos just want to work every day, well, you listen to your Joe-gram at your work on your lunch break, and you're like, what is the Joe government program telling me today? Which CIA banker agent does he have on now that's saying it probably wasn't us, it was probably China, or socialism did it, or your Tim above ground pool program? If you want to listen to that, it's fine, you do that on your lunch break. But the rest of us want a fucking awesome country, and we have enough food, enough housing, and enough money to do it. It's just there are certain people that are hoarding all of that shit. And us, the rest of us, not you fucking 22% of the MAGAs who like to bark about getting a job, you hippie, or, you know, are you serious with this? No. For you, it's too much stimulation for your brain, okay? It's like I just put on a strobe light. We should put a warning on here. This is like some of these words might have a strobing effect to your fucking brain because you're dull and you've been propagandized into thinking status quo, just be obedient. I'm going to develop a warning so I can flash that first. And then when I start talking about a $66 minimum wage, all you pussy fascists don't have a heart attack in the comments. The old man is shouting now. Thank you, Crash. I am. I have to do my tangent at some point, okay? The ants need a union. They don't get any time off. Who's their HR? Lisa D, you bring up an interesting point. The ants. There are more of them than us. And I fear the day they get their hands on the AI and they make this whole planet look like an ant colony, okay? And you're going to ruin the day you brought that comment up. We're all doomed. Because they live moss. Derek's still here. Derek, I told you to leave 40 years ago. Get out of here, Derek. You are no fun and you lack imagination, okay? Jim Henson's ghost is disappointed in you. You are not living moss. What else did you guys want to talk about?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Excuse me.
I know. I gotta straighten out. This is ridiculous.
Please.
Please. Jeb's still in here? Old Jeb. Jeb probably plays a good whistling bottle. A tootin' bottle. Toot, 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 toot. And don't worry, Jeb, the AI can't take that job, okay? The robots can't do that. They can't blow and suck. Well, I don't know. Maybe if Trump gets a hang on that robotics, Boston Dynamics, he'll be like, first thing you gotta invent is the robots suck. Sky horses can still save you. Who knows about the sky horses? My Jesus. Don't insult the majestic jug. Listen, Miss Rose, I don't insult it, and it is majestic. I've tried playing one before. No joke. Friend I work with would bring one in to fill it up with water, and I said, give me that sucker. I got to try to rip one of those badass hillbilly tunes out. And I went, whoo, and it just went, bop. So you got to have quite the lungs to play the jug, I'll tell you that. People call themselves pro-capitalist, yet you still ask for a wage. They don't know money could be used to create more jobs. Some dumb beats. You make a very good point. All you capitalists in here, why are you even getting a wage? You know? Like, you always make fun of me because I say the minimum wage should be what FDR said it should be. You know, the wages of a decent living, not a bare subsistence level. And then FDR said if your business has to exploit people to run, it shouldn't exist in America. I'm a socialist. Oh, my God. That was a curse on all capitalists. When you burp and say socialist, that's a curse. You guys are cursed now. Oh, what did I do? You're all going to become commies. Oh, God. And some of you wouldn't be good socialists. But you're right. If you're pro-capitalist, I need you to go into work tomorrow and say, I'd like to take no wage. Like to take no wage and use that money for a better job for somebody else, okay? I need you to walk the walk. Vance is scooping up those farmlands and making millions of foreign investors. Yes, immigrants. They have bought over $456 billion worth of homes and land in the U.S. so far. Yeah, we have. I was watching this. I forget what channel, but listen to Gary's Economics. He's a former stock trader, now YouTuber. Pushes for tax wealth, not work. That's the motto: tax wealth, not work. And I was listening to some British talk show. And they were talking about America, and they said, we don't want to become, in a few years, we're going to become like America and have corporate landlords. And I thought, holy shit, we are like, you know, what countries are trying not to become. And the capitalists in their countries are like, America's like, you know, the place to be for unfettered, unregulated capitalism, where they can just abuse. Like, you saw the article about Joe Biden trying to get the airlines, these billion-dollar airline companies, to compensate you with cash money lodging meals if they interrupted your flight. And it said to be more like European airlines. So we are the joke of the world in first world nations. Like, European airlines have that stuff. They have protections. They have guaranteed time off. They have guaranteed parental leave. They have all this stuff. And we are over here saying we're the land of the free because we're what? Free to die with medical debt? And they're selling off America. That's the other thing. There's nothing like, where's the story? Where's the story? Oh, lovely lady. And she was look at this. This was in the news today. 475 people taken into ICE custody at a Hyundai plant in Georgia, right? So I'm reading that, and they're like, oh, they take all these people in the plant. And again, remember, this is under the concept of Trump wants to bring manufacturing back here, but then he's raiding the manufacturing plants here of all their workers. But I couldn't find anywhere in the article where it talks about them arresting the people that hired 475 people that would be detained by ICE. Like, how come you're going to get the people but not the problem? The problem isn't the people going for a job. They're just going for a job. The problem is the people going, oh, you don't have the proper paperwork? That's fine. We'll hire you, and we'll probably not pay you enough and abuse you and exploit your workers' rights because, you know, whatever. Like, how come they took 475 workers, but they didn't take the Hyundai bosses and managers that made that hiring? Are these the questions you're asking when you read these articles? Because this is what I'm asking. Why isn't the media asking this? Taking laborers out of work does not bode well for America, especially when your whole premise is, I'm going to tariff other countries so we can bring manufacturing jobs here. And then they're like, well, we're also going to raid all the manufacturing plants. We won't, don't worry. It's a two-tiered system, like you heard McDonald's CEO yesterday on the live. It's a two-tiered system, so don't worry. The bosses, the managers, they won't be in trouble for hiring those people. We'll just get the workers. Do you see how this works? Did you hear the George Carlin I played for you? Come on, dummies. Come on. All right, let's get to some. What was the other news? Where is it? I wanted to play this clip for you because I wanted to show you. It actually wasn't about what he was saying. He's always talking rubbish. I'm going to play this clip for you of Trump admitting that he doesn't care Americans pay his tariffs. He says it very briefly, but then I want to point something out, okay?
We've never built anything so expensive. I think it was the equivalent of $1.7 billion. And we've never built anything like that. We built a lot of things.
He looks
never
rough.
So expensive. Then we started building other things. We had a lot of
Rough.
money to do it, all based on foreign countries coming in and paying us tariffs. And we're doing that again. And I think we're going to make so much that we're going to be able to reduce taxes in this country by a lot. And we're also
He already cut taxes for corporations by a lot, so he's lying right there.
going to treat those countries very fairly. But if we don't make a deal,
He's doing a bunch of doublespeak. He says, we're going to treat those countries fairly, but if we don't make a deal, listen, he goes back and forth. He says nothing.
which is possible, we're going to just set the price. Because you remember, they have to come in, they want to come in here and they want to do business with the United States. So we want to set a fair price, and we'll do that. We're going to be very fair, but we'll set a fair price. And then they can make a determination as to whether or not they want to do business with the United States. And I think most of them will. And I think we're going to treat them very fairly.
Were you worried about what the 145% tariffs were doing to small businesses?
No.
So she says, are you worried about what the 145% tariffs are doing to small businesses? And he says,
In the US, is that why you're bringing it?
No, I think most of them will.
he
And I
says,
think we're
no,
gonna treat them
no,
very fairly.
no.
Were you worried about what the 145% tariffs were doing to small businesses here in the US? Is that why you're bringing it?
No.
No, he doesn't care. And we've talked about this many times. I've showed you emails from CEOs of smaller businesses that said, we're closing our shop for right now because of the tariffs. He's admitting he doesn't care about American small business. He just said, no. But what I want to point out is I watched all 7 minutes and 59 seconds of this video, and the whole time he's holding his hand like that. He's covering his hand. And I'm talking about this guy's moving around. You could tell he wants to point to someone. I don't know if they super glued his hands, but the whole time he's going, well, these people over here, and it looks so weird. If you get to see this clip, it's on Reddit, watch it, because he's covering up his zombie bite. I believe he was bit by a zombie, and they've been covering it with makeup, but it looks so bad, and he just looks brutal. And not just from the screenshot, but I mean, like, watch this. Dude is disheveled, almost 80 years old, knocking on that happy birthday from Smuckers on NBC or whatever it is. Dude is ancient. I don't understand the people who were like, Joe Brandon's so old. And they were like, here's the youth we need, you know? But watch this interview. It is insane. Or this press conference. He holds that hand like so awkwardly that it's like, put it under the desk, dude, like you were doing before. Because the whole time you're going, what is going on? Why is he, did he glue his hands together like some 8th grader or something? You know, like, what is he, in kindergarten? Did he get stuck with him with the glue or something? Like, what was he doing? Was he doing crafts before this? Because he does not move his hands. He's covering it up. They clearly coached him to cover that bruise and they probably told him, stop hiding your hands. Everyone's saying you're hiding your hands. And it's absolutely bananas. But yeah, I wanted to play that for you because he's laughing at you. Bruh. Okay, what other notifications do we got? I think that was it, guys. I think that was it. We really got to change this country around. We got the power. That's why they're the 99%. Or we're the 99. Are we the 99 or they? No, it's us. I'm pretty sure it's us. It's us, guys. And by the way, I did check that Donald Trump press conference with my deepfake glasses. It was not a deepfake. That was him covering his hand. What you hiding? Show us your hand. How come all you guys that were like, Joe Biden, they're hiding him. They're hiding him away in his mother's basement because he's so old. It's a fake Joe Biden. It's an AI Joe Biden. It's a deep fake. How come you guys are not like, well, what's going on with that hand? Why are you holding it like that? What do you got, a hickey? You got a zombie bite? Did you? Don't tell Daryl. Guy believes in zombies. Oh, and you don't? Lack of creativity. God, so many bummers in here. You guys are Joe Bummers. All right, that's what I'm going to call you. A bunch of lizards. There we go. It's a clone Trump. Did you see the clone Trump down at Disney World? In the President's Hall? Oh my God, it's hilarious. I want to go take a picture with it. Oh, he will soon. You can't live forever. Everybody shuffles loose this mortal coil, folks. Everybody. That's the one guarantee Jesus made to everybody. He said, you're all going to die someday. YOLO. There are 839 billionaires, but we, the people, are more. That's right. Good to see you, Sassy Mo. Good to see you. Good to see you. We do need better leadership. We need Graham Plattner. Go check out Graham Plattner. I can't believe I drank all my pumpkin cream drink. It was so good. I gotta get another one. All right. I think that's it for today. Let's see. We're now 94 thumbs up. Only 94? Wait, is that a deep fake number? No, that's a real number. If we get to 100, I'll show you a little kitty. If we get to 100. But we got to get to 100. I can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. Don't forget, hit subscribe. And then hit the notification bell. And whenever I go live, ta-da-da-da, you will get alerted. They'll say, hey, he's live. Get over there. Live Moss. That's what they'll say to you. They'll say, Live Moss. So the Undertaker's theme is just the Live Moss Taco Bell theme slowed down. I think we got a new conspiracy on our hands here, folks. I didn't know that. Maybe the Undertaker, who's a piece of crap, really liked Taco Bell. And he's like, what if you slowed that down a little? That's it. 98, we're only at 98, Crash. Need 2 more little thumbsies upsies. If we don't, Mick Foley is cool. I met him a few times. And don't forget, folks, don't listen to Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, the Joe Graham. Those are very deeply unserious people. State propaganda, Russian state propaganda, probably. Oh, we're at 99. We ain't there. And I got to wrap it up. So if we don't hit 100, that's okay. Classy McGee, good to see you. I hope you hit subscribe and the notification bell. All right, we're at 100. Phyllis, good to see you. He might have been friendly, Reptile. I'm assuming that's what your name means. But his beliefs as a human being are to poo-poo on you. Hold on. I'll go get my favorite little kitty. Oh, sorry. I couldn't take my favorite one. I had to take the other one. Because my favorite one is very loud and very, she likes to whine. But this little cutie, look at this little cutie. Yeah, oh, you're so adorable. I love you. And mommy had to come right here and say, what are you doing? Oh, she's going to take it back. That was for 100 likes. Here we go. Okay, mama, I'll put her back. I'll put her back. Okay. Uh-oh, here. Oh my God, look at how quick it grew. You guys, movie magic. Look at how quick it grew. Hi, buddy. Hi, little lady. All right, go. All right, guys. If you don't like cats, you're a skibbity beta. So just know that, Jeb. Thank you, thank you. They do grow up very fast. They're amazing animals. Oh, I got to tell you a story. Maybe if I go live tomorrow about the funniest things about cats. Cats are such interesting animals. So interesting. Don't feed the Yagwai. Good to see you. I'm glad you got to catch up with the live. And make sure, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will be back probably tomorrow.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
What is the charge? Just liked and subscribed. Awesome. Thank you. We got to crack 1 million subs, guys. We got to, so I can challenge Mr. Beast to a socialism off. We got to do it, guys. Oh, yeah. Crash knows that one. That's one of my favorite internet videos. Thank you, CJ. Hopefully, we covered a lot tonight. We covered a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot we covered. And now I got to go play with the kitties and the puppies and all the animals, the amazing species. It's so weird that us as humans just live with these things, you know? And like, they're like, yeah, that's cool. The deal is you feed me and change my poop and we're cool. You've seen Grumpy Cat. This is Smug Cat. I want to make a meme of this cat. Smug Cat. Mr. Beast is totally out of touch and an absolute nightmare of a person. You were 100? Thank you, Anthony. Everybody thank Anthony Patino. He's the one that cracked the code. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow, I'm going to try to come on a little earlier tomorrow. So hit the notification bell after you hit subscribe. Because when the mom goes to play, I can take out my favorite one. You didn't get to see my favorite one, I'm sorry. But we'll do it tomorrow. She just gets really loud, and the mom, here's the thing about moms. Little mama bears. If that mom cat wants a kitten, she will rip it out of your hand and take it where she wants it. So, sassy Mo, you good person. Tell your cat I said hi. People suck. Not all people. We keep hope here, all right? I'm your vibe guru. Thank you for joining the Rob Hood Vision Quest. The deepfake glasses work today. We heard it. We heard it. So, yeah, not all people. So keep hope. Keep solidarity, keep organizing, join the community, join the Discord, link down below. Much love to you. And for that last comment that I'm not going to read, people, take off the red, take off the blue. These politicians don't work for you. It's a big club. You ain't in it. The corporations have the politicians as puppets, so you think that they're representing you. But we saw tonight with Trump rolling back those Biden-era policies to make airlines pay you and give you lodging and a meal, like Europe has, when you're inconvenienced by their billion-dollar fuck-ups. Trump is not working for you. He's working for the CEOs of the airlines. He don't care about you as a passenger or as a worker. So we need to come together, because if enough of us come together and call for some changes, guess what? That's how a little thing called the American Revolution happened. And there were naysayers there too. There were people like Jeb saying like, you're going to destroy the king's tea. I disagree. There were losers then too. And check out Gary's Economics. Thank you, Sapphire8. I always link his video down below. Tax Wealth Not Work, his video, Gary's Economics. Right after this, go watch that. Go watch him. He's building. I'm trying to be a part of that network, that community he's building. We need to tax wealth, not work. We can do it. There's always the French Revolution way. That's right. Right? We'll give him a little 1798 or whatever it is. All right, guys. Much love. Phil, it's good to see you. CJ Alma, all the other mods, Crash, Gal on the Spectrum, Classy McGee, Reptile, Anthony for cracking a hundo, Sassy Mo, and if I forgot you, I didn't. I meant it in heart. Gary's Economics on YouTube. He's a Brit who nails the system. Thank you, Rob. Only just recently found him. All common sense. Yeah. And he was a $1 million stock trader. And he talks about his story and how he came to YouTube because he saw his friends and the economy he lived in was crashing because these capitalists you can't satiate greedy people. You know, we have enough to go around, but the greedy people have convinced other people that like they just need more, and then things will get better. But as somebody who's been living in a capitalist market, not so free, for all my life, let me tell you, it hasn't gotten better. I've watched it get worse. People were young when I was little buying homes, and now people are like, I can hardly rent a home. I need a roommate. It's fucking obscene, and we can change it, but we got to get together. We got to come together. We got to come together. Okay. So I appreciate everybody who is not being obedient to this system that wants to exploit you. And I hope that, see, we got to fix that, Classy McGee. We got to fix that stuff. No American should be living in their car, and every American should be staunchly against that. We have 25 homes for every homeless person. There's no reason we should have corporate landlords. Make neighborhoods great again, and make that happen by having people own those homes, not rent them. So we're going to fix this shit. We're fixing it all, and we're starting here. For all those people who go, oh, you're just talking. No, I do more than that. But talking spreads the message. It plants the seed. And once you hear something, you can't unhear it. That's why they're so anti-Mr. Rogers. Because once you teach compassion and empathy, oh my God, people aren't going to be greedy anymore. So we're going to de-greed people. All right. All right, guys, make Earth great. Make Earth amazing. That's the other thing. I love Earth. Why don't we have a new Green Deal? Start a whole industry, millions of jobs. They talked about electricity. I wanted to show you that meme too. Shit. I'll show you that meme tomorrow. I said, if we solar powered the Earth, like my theory is every parking lot should have solar power roofs over it. You're blocking the rain from people, but you're also generating enough electricity. And we could do it with the sun for free, but then who would profit off that, you know? So think about it. Think about it, folks, all right? No kings, no tyrants, no fragile ego, Nepo babies. This is the people, all right? I'm for the people. Thank you, Alma. Much love to you guys. Have a great night. Peace.